They're all fired up. We're almost underway.
Gotta do this. Come on.
Simple and clean.
Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Goes for the surprise rush in. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. They're jostling for the dominant position in the corner. Their super art gauge is running on empty. That's going to be a big factor in how this match plays out. Uses a fireball to try and establish their pace. KO! Player 2 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Round 2. Fight.
Cody Whirlwind to up the ante. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. Good job here in giving themselves a chance to gain the upper hand. Brushes that off and keeps going. Breaks the block with a throw. Won't activate the star to get some help on the field. Player 1, there's a wall splash. They can't do anything now. Burnout activates. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Very slick with the combo. Drops them from the air. Player 1 needs the throw. It's denied. They were waiting. Smart decision there. The chip damage was enough. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Tries to bait him with the projectile. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Jump in, finds the mark. Backs them into the corner. Player 2 has the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. Wow, shut down. Starts off zoning with fireballs. Super meter is looking bare right now. Will they try to hang back to stock up or continue fighting? Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. Can they outlast it? Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. This is where things will get interesting as the damage starts to pile up on both fighters. Both fighters decide to reset the pace and assess the situation. Player 2 creates a good... baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Experiencing burnout. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Sticks the jump in. The quarter KO. Player 2 on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Great Desert Storm!
The attack is parried. Parries the projectile. Throws him. What's next? Good work staying in throw range there. Player 1 has the meter lead. Springs forward with the drive rush. What'll happen here? Solid choice with the spinning mixer to drop it. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Side switch in the corner. Player 1 will need to use their meters experiencing burnout. Player 2 needs to use the threat of the sneaks in the throw. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. This is crucial. The opening round is about to begin. Tries to get a breather with a projectile. Trying to control their opponent here from a distance. Starts with a jumper. The quarter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Buy some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. They both need to stand firm here and deal with an empty drive gauge. Both fighters will want to utilize what little drive gauge they have. The counter is blocked. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. Brings out the scoop. What a finish. Great meat on the life gauge there. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Checks him with the projectile. Medium kick hits. Player 1 will want to take advantage of their meter lead while they have it. All right, what's coming up next? They gotta make sure not to splurge with that drive gauge and leave themselves vulnerable. Both fighters will have to decide whether they want to go with an all-out offense powered by their drive or play it safe and conservative. The corner throw ends it. That's what happens when you capitalize on all of your chances. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Gets the jump in. The grab misses. Checks with the projectile. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? Saw the projectile easily. They'll want to be careful of positioning here while on the lookout for more projectiles. Raise on the pressure with the projectile. Is the fireball part of their corner game? Super meter is looking bare right now. Will they try to hang back to stock up or continue fighting? Player 1 chases them down. All right, what's coming up next? They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Throws them to negate the block. Taking stock. Quick dashing. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. Oh God, this is tense. They quickly get back into the smart play that's in there. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Great Desert Storm!
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? It's not easy to parry projectiles in the heat of a match, but it's definitely effective. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Jumps. Pops him with a shoryu. Blocks him. Barely blocks the jump in. Their life is hanging by a thread. They gotta lean heavily on their drive moves now. Blocks the cross. Connects with the throw. Uses their drive game. Are we gonna see a comeback here? They're taking a step, willing to risk it for the overdrive. Keeps them out. Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Carries them all the way to the corner in one go. Jumps. Side switch and the strong super hard incoming. Tons of space between the fighters now. Closes it out. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Checking their reactions with a fireball? Big gap between the two fighters, so they throw out a fireball. Denying them a breather there with a long-range fireball. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Below heavy hits. Picks up some damage with a long-reaching attack. Uses the target combo to take a chunk of damage off the opponent. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. Player 1 can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reset the situation. Throws out a projectile. Looks like they want to re-establish their game plan with fireball. Throws a fireball here, maybe as a simple zoning strike. Box him with a target. Life experiencing burnout. And a super activation. Looking to score some juicy damage. Saw them sweating against the wall and gets in the throw. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Lays down a whirlwind. Both fighters want to establish themselves early on. Grabs them, knockdown, and fires off a whirlwind. Player 2 springs forward with the drive rush. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. A quick breather. Player 2 will look to apply pressure here. Gets them with the anti-air. Not close enough for the throw. Ooh, what a smart throw! But they're going for the super art? Are we gonna see a comeback here? They're taking a step back to slow down the pace. In there! Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Gets the jump in. Box him with a target. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Denies the jumping attack with a jumping attack of their own. Takes a trip. They trade. Decides to meet them in the air. They were looking up. Taking stock. Left off the projectile to waste time. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Both fighters decide to reset the pace and assess the situation. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. Player 2 will have to fight back here without any drive. This is a critical point of the round. Finishes with the throw. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Star is active. Here comes the rude Sandstorm. They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Takes them all the way to the corner with that. Yo, put that away. That counter's got to have rattled them. Player 1 has the meter lead. Oh, easy tech. Oh, the back and forth reads are unreal. Start the push with Arabian Cyclone. Player 2 in dire straits with burnout. Experiencing burnout. Knockdown and a super art. Super receive kick to make their extremities tingle. Throws a fireball. Ball critical. What's gonna happen? Scared money don't make no money. Spends it all for the Shinryu Rippa.
Shut up!
I've had enough.
The next touch may decide this round. A lot of pressure building up here. What are they gonna do? They back down to regroup. This may be the final push. They don't have any leeway. Tries to make something happen with an overdrive arc. The drive gauge is screaming for more attention. Pumps the brakes on the impact. The impact squashed. Whirlwind shot. That amazing never say die attitude got them the win. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Medium kick into, barely blocks the jumping. Gets the quick dash short. Gets the side flip. Steals back a chance. Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Player 1 with the rhythm owning that space. What a finish! Player 1 is a force to be reckoned with. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Neither of them willing to back off here. This is a good range to test the opponent's reaction to fireballs. Denying them a breather there with a long-range fireball. Neither can lean on their drive too hard. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. Can they outlast it? Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. Both fighters have no meter. Who's going to make the first move? Taking stock. Left off the projectile to waste time. Okay, creating some space here. Player 1 chases them down. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. I can't keep track of these corner switches. Down to the wire. Were they baiting them into that? Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. They need to rely on their instincts here. Comes from behind to pick up the win. They took advantage of every chance. Player 1 with a good start to the fight, but can they keep it up? Jumps? Who's going to start things off? The jump-in is denied. Brushes off the impact. Forcefully closes the gap. That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Oh, they're in the corner now. No running away. Chases them into the corner and will now look to do some damage. Super art on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. They'll activate the star to get some help on the field. That's not gonna hit. Jump experiencing burnout. Breaks the block with a throw. Player 1 will look frozen. Knockdown and we have Super KO. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Backdash to start. They're not taking any chance. This is the time to use fireballs to chip away at an opponent. Opts to continue the attack with the drive. Doing some quick planning? Both players look for something to work with, but neither are getting the opening they want. He stars out. Rashid's gonna start stealing. The super doesn't hit. Player 2 is in a throw zone. How long can this offensive assault continue? Going wild with the throws in the corner. Player 1 needs to take advantage of this gauge disparity. Grounds him from above. Oh, putting the cherry on top. Come on now, let me hear you say it. Shinryu. Repa. Lands the super. Time for dessert. Back into throw zone. What now? Whirlwind shot. Chase things up with a fireball. Oh, they switch all the throw connects. Amazing. Player blocks the low kick. Denied. Keeps cool and locks them out. Player 2 can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. They're just gonna go for it with the super. They are done. Player 2 clinches the win. But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have called that. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Uses their drive gauge. Spinning Victor tells you you're not cleared for landing. Blocks it. Will gain control of the match in the early going. Just goes for it to stop the opponent's flow. Use that's going to condition them to be more conservative. Players down to the wire.
Time to go crazy.
Holds out with the block. Knockdown. We are near the end of the round. Can either end the throw ends the round. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Goes to the overdrive. Lands a punish counter for the first hit. Turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. Chases them into the corner and will now look to do some damage. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Activates the star to get some help on the field. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. Experiencing burnout. Burnout on KO. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. What's the play here? Goes for the throw. Closes the gap for the grab. Player 1 is just about out of drive after that. You can use a drive rush like that there to maintain the pressure. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Hits him for the stun. This might be over right here. KO! Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Bending that drive gauge. Hits him with a stopping bomb. Extra spicy Shoryu connects. They trade hits. And now, Rashid's making the chat go nuts with OD spinning mixer. Medium kick hits. Max SA gate, there's a wall splash. They can't do anything now. Player 1 blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. Grabs and connects with the throw. Still scrapping for the chip. Burnout activates. Counting on the super to do the job. Noticeable life lead is a comeback scoop. A gutsy fireball gives them the round. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Come upstairs. Takes them all the way to the corner with that. takes the chance to hurt him. What's going to follow the combo? Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. Big trouble here. The stun is going to leave them defenseless. The drive gauge will recover when they get out of stun, making this prime time to deal up some free damage. I can't keep track of these corner switches. Taking stock. Player 1 chases them down. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense.
Extra spicy Shoryuken X.
They don't need to go for anything big. Even a light tap could win this round. Experiencing burnout. Player 2 can't afford the stakes without that drive gauge. Both of them are low on health. Activate the Thor to get some help on the field. Both fighters are barely hanging in there, but someone's gotta act. Player 1 can't. The super doesn't pay. Oh. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Manages to block the jump-in attack. Shows the medium kick. Medium kick hit.
Extra spicy Shoryuken X.
Player 1 will look to apply pressure. Ooh, what's this? What's gonna happen? Burnout activates. Player 1 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Connects with medium kick. Both fighters planning something? Lays down a whoop. Just goes for it at this range. We're at a standstill, but we may see an eruption soon. Experiencing burnout. Both avoiding the wall like
Whoa! Critical art now?
Player 2 uses that wall pressure. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Backdash to start. They're not taking any chance. Uses their drive gauge. Fires off a whirlwind. Jumps in. Breaks the block with a throw. Player 1 needs to use burnout activates. This is gonna be bad news. Player 1 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Starts with whirlwind. This is gonna hurt. That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Out of range. Relatively safe. Player 2 can't let this simmer. They got it. No! Stunned off the wall! Breaks it! Risky play, but it pays off! Whirlwind shot! Shakes things up with a fireball! They're taking a step willing to risk it for the overdrive! Starts with whirlwind! OD whirlwind? Proceeds looking for something with his Zara! Player 1 has the super gauge advantage. Carried to the corner. Oh, it's enough. Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that comeback. Zones with the fireball. Lays down a whirlwind. Fires off a whirlwind. Still very early in the round. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Player 1 is just about out of drive after that. Goes in on the impact for nothing. Trips him up. Brushes off the impact. Drive impact is blocked, but takes a bite out of the drive gauge to apply some pressure. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Super receive kick to make their extremity single. Ends with a projectile. Player 2 on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Player 1 was kept on their toes all round and didn't utilize their drive gauge efficiently. You may see them pay a bit more attention to that as we head into the next round. Risky up-close scraps. There's the wall spot. They can't do anything now. Player 1 holding on to that corner advantage. Big opportunity. Blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. Are we going to see a comeback here? In there! Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Quick step forward. Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor here? And then boom! Player to use the threat of the corner here. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Player 1 needs to take advantage of this gauge disparity. Ooh, what a smart close. Okay, here we go. Wall flat into the card frame. Burns out. Player 2 is
Putting the cherry on top.
Player 2
Is in a very good spot now.
Oh, throw tech. Drops them. Throws them. Oh, here we go.
Perfect execution with the anti-air.
Doesn't take the throw. Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back.
Adds a bit of OD spiciness.
Fires off a whirlwind. Takes him all the way to the corner with that. Player 2 has the life advantage. Can they exploit this advantage? The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? Raise on the pressure with the projectile. Throwing on even more pressure with the fireballs. This is a good range to test the opponent's reaction to fireballs. Trying to control their opponent here from a distance. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. The move whiffs and they get nailed with a punish counter. Takes a trip. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move or you're going to eat tons of damage. I wonder how both fighters will adapt to what we've seen so far. Sticks the jump in. Player 2 takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Knockdown. Player 1 will KO. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Opts to create space to start. Fires off a whirlwind. Going on the offensive?
Opts to continue the attack with the drive.
Solid use of tempo. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Starts the push with an experiencing burnout. Not much life left, but their drive usage may save them. Sar's active. Here comes the rude Chancellor. Player 2 will look to apply pressure. Perfect KO. They were in full control there. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? It crowns him from above. Connects with the throw. Scores a counter hit with the OD mixer. This is gonna hurt. Taking chunks out of each other here. Player 1
Is in a very good spot now.
huge chance out of that wall fight. Excellent damage on that. Pushes the envelope with the OD spinning mixer. This is the time to believe in your flatlines then. Player 1 was an absolute beast in that match. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Fires off a whirlwind. Tries to bait out a reaction to a fireball. Parries the projectile. Saw the projectile easily. They'll want to be careful of positioning here while on the lookout for more projectiles. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Will they incorporate that full drive gauge they have into their game plan? Looking for a way to incorporate their drive. Which of these fighters are going to get the SA gauge advantage here? I want to see how they manage their SA gauge here. Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. Wow, shut down. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. KO. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Steps back to start things off. Dashes. Oh, brushes that off and keeps going. That combo is a smart play to stop the opponent there. Sends a clear message with that counter. Nice counter. Both fighters planning something? Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Activate the Thar to get them help on the field. Player 1 hits them with a stop and block. Can they create an opportunity for themselves to seal the deal? cool system to try some flatlines in. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? Had the radar up and running. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Shoots off a projectile from downtown to check their approach. Denying them a breather there with a long-range fireball. They get the distance they want. Let's see their approach. The fighters take a step back to reassess. Time for a new game plan. The fighters are scrambling to figure out how to gain some meter. Gaining some meter would open up the opportunity to deal huge damage, but that's easier said than done. Who's going to break the silence first? Does a good job of pushing back. Gets out of the corner and creates some distance. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. They decide to hang back and rethink their game plan. A good chance here to recover the drive gauge or figure out the next step. I can't keep track of these corner switches. Player 1 is almost dead, but some clutch drive moves and a few prayers could turn this around in their favor. Fireball from very long range. KO! Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. Good job here in giving themselves a chance to gain the upper hand. Looking for a chance. Jumps, hits the air throw. A quick breather. Star's active. Here comes the rude sandstone. Player 2 has a slight life lead. There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Player 2 will look to apply pressure here. Quick dashing. Going in. Player 1 is working with a better game. What can they do with it? What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. Blocks it. Experiencing burnout. Knockdown and fires off a whirlwind. That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Starts with whirlwind. Player 1 is in a burnout activates. Whirlwind shot. Gets it to perfect fireball range. Lays down a whirlwind. Player 2 needs to use the predator. This is gonna hurt. Gets the quick dash plus super art. What were they thinking? Medium kick. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Hits the drive. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Player 1 didn't rely too much on drive in that last round, but they may be looking to mix things up. Big gauge lead here. Perfect execution with the anti-air. They just said, get that jumper out of here. Fires off a whirlwind. Gets it the perfect fireball range. Good distance for a shot. Starts with whirlwind. Player 2 is in a very good spot. Nothing stops this train. Excellent damage on that. Oh, they switch sides. Pokes with a kick. Whips them for more fuel to the fire. Hook them up. Player 1 needs to wait this out. They're taking a strong super hard incoming. Life burns out. What were they thinking? Just knew the throw was coming. This unleashes some big damage. This is gonna hurt. Player 1 can't use any. They are done. Player 2 clinches the win. But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have called that.